All right. We are back in the building. This is MC here representing Web3Talks, and I'm with a special friend. We have common friends, and want to give a bigger shout out to Declan and Jack. Last year they want to make this happen, but here we are, maybe 1 year later, they're here. So anyways, just a big shout out to these guys. But hey, first of all, glad to have you on Web3Talks, man.
Likewise, thanks for inviting me.
But hey, just a quick intro. Tell us who you are, where you come from, and hey, what do you do?
My name is Ian Arden. I live in Abu Dhabi. I do Web3, have been doing this for 5 or 6 years now. Came into space from the venture building background. Did really well with the projects that we have launched. Reinvested and give or take 30 deals. Had really good exits and moved over to Abu Dhabi to, conquer the world.
Oh, yeah, no, that's great. You mentioned about contribution, and we talk. Speaking about contribution in Web3, I know you're working on a platform, and could you kind of give us a little insight? What kind of platform are you working on, and why a platform in the Web3 space?
Are you talking about MilestoneBased?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah. So as we started with Web3, and by the way, I've been doing development work before that. I was really heavy into AI, and we had a few success cases where one of the companies was sold for $130 million. Nice. Another got 62 million funding. And coming to Web3, what struck me right away was back in 2017, how founders were able to kind of raise dozens of millions of dollars.
Beautiful days.
And sometimes crazy ideas and no substance. And I noticed something, the crazier a person is, the crazier the idea is, the more they can raise. So there was very little due diligence, driven with the hype. Everybody was super active before they were fundraising, but then when the fundraise happens, when there is a crowd sale, it's followed by almost zero accountability and transparency over what they are spending money on, what their progress is. The community is chasing the founders all the time, and oftentimes is left, in the dark, really.
Right.
So we thought, why not building a system like an escrow in a way, because that's one of the key ideas of the smart contracts. You can hold money there, right?
Sure.
And
right.
it can get distributed, based on different triggers and conditions, if then this, if then this.
Okay. I like that.
So let the money sit there in milestones. Every milestone has its amount, the budget, description, what it has to be spent for. And let the founders just execute the milestones, and more funding gets available to them. That was the idea. And then if they're just not doing anything, the entire roadmap budget will be returned back to the investors and the contributors. That was the idea.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's pretty cool. I do remember the good old days, the ICO cowboy, 2017.
Well, still happening. Have you heard of this bald meme coin?
Yeah. I do remember that.
Just happened a few weeks ago, and turns out SBF was behind it. He pumped it, a stupid meme coin, and made millions out of it, and just rug pulled.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I do recall the history. I know things happen now, so I guess that's the reason why you feel okay, Milestone is the platform that can solve this particular issue, and especially it's going to get. Do you believe it's going to get much worse and worse, kind of like the ball situation or the unaccountability in our space?
It should become better.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of us, the Web3 fund managers, we are discussing next bull cycle and what's going to happen. And to the point of view of many of us, there can't be a real crypto summer in the altcoins if nothing changes in the quality of the projects, because how much more liquidity can
Right.
you get into the market, into the copycats of the copycats of the copycats,
Right.
and for the masses to really ape into them for sake of like speculation and and the expectancy of like quick returns.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. And moreover, it will probably also like hurt Bitcoin price movement because a lot of the gains from Bitcoin will be redirected into these higher risk assets like altcoins, into
Right.
the projects that again will gonna fail. We're gonna have another crypto winter. Bitcoin will not reach as much momentum as it can reach potentially. So there has to be a kind of regulation in the space, and I wish we as the community were able to like self-regulate better. Then probably like the governmental regulators wouldn't need to like step in and be like, no guys, this is forbidden, like this is a no-go, right? Because the entire premise of smart contracts is like to have a more predictable and human independent agreement, right? We bake the agreement into the smart contract, and then everybody knows what happens and what they are exchanging their money for. But it's not happening, just due to the human nature. Humans are prone to like this idea of quick returns, and they love to speculate, and of course they are being other people just take advantage of them by launching the projects that usually in many cases just don't go anywhere.
Okay, I can see that. I guess there is a sort of maybe an education issue, plus also like I guess not many people are aware that there are platforms out there that can help bring accountability. So I guess that's where Milestone
Exactly, yeah.
come in. So, but is it just specifically like say like fund managers, or can people like many other people from different backgrounds, they can also participate in with this platform?
So it works like this. So you want to raise some capital, right?
Sure.
Like
say I'm a founder. I have the
say
brilliant
you're a
idea.
founder.
Yeah.
You have an idea and probably something already done, and you want to raise like $2 million.
Okay.
So what you do is you sign up on the platform. You create the roadmap. There is a really quick and nice tool for you to put together the milestones, indicate the start time, the end time, how much money you need for every one of them. And then you show it to the investors. And investors could be anybody, could be institutional investors, could be crowd, really.
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. I like that. Okay.
And then you're raising money. The money goes into the roadmap that in essence is the smart contract on blockchain.
Right.
You can track everything that happens with it on the platform, but you can also use like Etherscan or BSC scan for that. We are in fact deployed on BSC, so it's BSC scan for now, but we're going to be on more platforms,
Nice.
like more layer one solutions.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, cool.
And then there is a governance layer on top of the roadmaps. So if there is a proposal to change anything on the milestone, because world is flexible, so roadmaps have to be flexible as well, right?
No, fair point. Yeah, sure.
What
sure.
if
true.
What if listing on the exchange doesn't make any sense because the exchanges are like a risky place, for example? Yeah.
No, sure. Yeah. I can see
So
that,
you
yeah.
put the proposal and you'll have the token holders to vote for that proposal, and it will change the roadmap of the company, and you'll be able to keep going with it. You can say that, hey, my project token is going to be the voting token for the changes, or you may say, like, here are these 7 advisors in the space, and I'm giving the voting tokens for them, and these advisors are going to be evaluating if I've achieved my milestone, and they vote for the changes in the proposals.
Okay, no, there's really interesting mechanism you have in terms of tracking the progress, and also to make this governance changes. No, that's pretty cool. I like that. Is there anything else, say from the Web3 community, they could benefit, using Milestone?
Yeah, we have plenty of features that we are working on. Some of them are AI driven. I hate to use this because it has become like a hype word, but because my background has been in AI before Web3.
All right, okay.
I had this idea of like helping entrepreneurs build better businesses by borrowing the best practices from the before. So the idea behind some of the features we are working on is to gather all the positive experience of like successful roadmaps, and as soon as you've started creating your roadmap, for the AI assistant to help you like draft the better milestones, give you more resources, even like tips, URLs like links, events that you need to visit, books that you need to read, courses, advisors that are kind of good fit for you to achieve this milestone.
No, that's really cool. I'm glad that you said that, because most of the startup founders, I believe, tend to come from the technical side. So they have technical knowledge, but in terms of operations and communications, I know a lot of these guys need a lot of help to articulate the value of how Web3 is going to change the world. So I think that's really cool that you're addressing that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Founders are either like too tech focused or they are too like business oriented. But having a platform where they can really like understand their gaps and fill the gaps is what we are striving for. So the mentality, because we are the VCs as well, right? So we've been asking ourselves like, how do we formulate our competitive advantage and how we are different as a VC? And I think a lot of VCs are taking like very passive position towards investing. They will try to identify the best company or what they believe is the best company and invest in them. And then oftentimes they will have a very passive approach towards it, and that's where they are losing their money, because DeFi and Web3 is the space where you as an investor, like you need to really keep the thumb on the pulse like on a daily basis. And that's why we have been so successful in investing, because we know what's happening with these companies. If they are launching a new liquidity mining program, like we are jumping onto it, even if it's like technically complex and you need to set up a node, wallet, stuff like that. If you do this, like you'll extract extra value for your fund and for your LPs. But so then this is one of our differences as the VC, is that we are like with the startup and we are helping them day to day. We are making valuable introductions to potential clients, to other investors. But another aspect is that we want to create value in almost every company with the help of technology. Every founder can be more successful. You don't need to say, "Oh, I'm working with you because you're legendary."
Gotcha.
I'll work with you because I think you can be legendary, right? Like,
interesting.
Here is the tool set for you to like be more legendary and like make less mistakes, show better returns to investors, and more money will come because how we see the platform like 5-10 years from now is that the world of private equity is going to be like totally liquid. So the money will flow into private companies.
Wow, okay, that's interesting,
Yeah, and we want to develop MilestoneBased into a tool that is your interface to funding, which is a little bit of like black box, but consider it a universe that is giving you more money as long as you keep progressing on your current milestones.
Interesting. I like the analogy. Yeah, that's it. That's the first time I'm hearing that. That's cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. I know you got to go. So if people want to learn more about Milestone, how to participate, how can they reach out to the legendary Ian Arden?
They should. Oh, come on, man! Stop it. They should go to MilestoneBased.com, join our Telegram community, our YouTube channel, and just use the platform, enjoy it, and converse in the group. We are very open, and we are there.
All right. Oh, no, that's cool. All right, cool. Okay, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of Milestone. But I just want to finish this off talking about Web3 in its totality, where the industry is going and stuff. So to me, that's interesting because, anyways, we are Web3. So, you've seen a lot of trends. I know people talk about metaverse. A lot of people talk about AI and all that jazz. Hey, what does Web3 look like? Say 5 to 10 years. I mean, what's your vision or your gamble?
I don't know. It depends who takes over the world. Like for me as a technologist, Web3 is nothing more than like a piece in a larger trend, or super trend, which is called RPA, the robotic process automation, which means it has nothing to do with robots, but it has to do with like automating the processes that we are using every day, right?
Okay. Sure.
And it spans across all the industries, particularly digital, right? And ChatGPT has shown that, you know, everything digital can be pretty much like generated based on all the previous like training set or the experience of the humanity, yeah? And to me, Web3 is like, it's just as simple as a easier way to transact and do finance, but people overcomplicate it. I mean, why don't we just take all the tech stack and take it to the banks and have the banks just build solutions in Solidity, as simple as that. Like, and why not having a very simple regulation for how the early stage projects should or should not raise through tokens, and be really clear about like what the total supply can be, how much they can raise, how the liquidity has to be locked.
Right.
Like all these like check boxes, there is like probably 10 or 15 of them, is like entirely enough to like light regulate the industry and have everybody like, you know, super happy and efficient, because early stage founders are struggling with fundraisers right now, while the regulators are like, no, you can't fundraise.
You can't do this, you can't do that, like bang, like, oh.
Exactly.
Okay, I feel it, yeah.
So I'm looking very positive, and what adds to that is that I know what some governments are doing with Web3, blockchain technology, decentralized identity, even like decentralized exchanges, and real world assets tokenization. And let's remember that there are trillions and trillions of minerals and metals
right underground. Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
And if that can back more currencies, there could be more currencies and currency flows and interesting infrastructure projects. Unfortunately, I'm under NDA on some things, but I can tell you for sure that if you are if you really think that the space is done and busted, you should reconsider.
I'm glad you said that. One last thing before we take off. We got a lot of new people, you know, from different backgrounds. They keep hearing about Web3, but I guess the question, you know, they ask me, I will throw it to you. Why should I care about Web3? Why does Web3 matter? What would be your call to action to people? Or
I think it's all about like the self-sovereignty and who is the master of your destiny and your life. Are you gonna be someone who owns your life? Then you need to educate yourself. You will need to expose yourself to financial risk in order to get experience and eventually become the master of your financial life. Right. So that you don't need to live from salary to salary and work from 9 to 5.
Check to check.
If you want to become your own family office, who are like people that have their own wealth, and be an investor, then Web3 is a great way for you to like build that mentality. And then it goes further into like you're the owner of your own data, you are the creator versus you are just the consumer and stuff like that. But I would really start with like, you know, reflecting more on the self-sovereignty and the financial aspect of your life. And the Web3 is just a trigger for you to probably like unleash some new opportunities.
No, that is beautifully said, Ian. First of all, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Really love the message. We really have a beautiful message for Web3. So hey, fam, you heard it right here. You heard the steps, and hey, just take action. So anyways, fam, we gotta go. So y'all be good, y'all be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Cheers, bye now.